All right. I think we are live. That's a big I think. Yeah, okay. And we got volume. Holy cow. I think I got it right for the first time in a long time. All right, let's just move this like this. There we go. Because everybody's going to be going in and out because today we have a dual birthday party. My mother in law, who I believe is 84, 83. I don't know. I forgot to ask her. Her birthday was yesterday, and today my wonderful daughter-in-law is her birthday's today. Don't ask me how old she is. All I know is that there's a birthday party, and I'm going to be eating pretty well. Isn't that all that matters? Uh, what always helps if somebody lets me know if you can hear or see me, which is a good start to things. And I'll start talking about some of the things. Our my boys over at Trading Card Market, which is really cool because I got a whole bunch of these stickers that I'm going to be using. Um, Sent me over a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be taking a look at the new Final Fantasy Magic. Um, I'm really curious about this. First of all, I love Final Fantasy, and I really kind of like. I know there's been a lot of outrage over the fact that Magic has gone from this one particular universe to Dungeons and Dragons, then Final Fantasy, some other things. Now they're going to be doing the Marvel universe. I think it's good personally. And the reason I think it's good is the fact that um, I think it really it hits that person that may be a fan of something else, like a particular video game or something like that. I saw a video last night where a guy never played Magic. But he's a huge Final Fantasy fan, and he just went and bought and decided to make a video on how to play Magic, which I think is really good because it kind of brings in those people that just don't do it, don't play it. Um, Now, does it insult, you know, or is there unbelievable outrage over oh, this isn't the same old Magic? Well, what is, Um, what else do we got going here? Is this working right? I gotta check out a look here. Hold on here. Okay. Looks like it's working right. Right? Yeah, it is. Good morning, Rob. How are you? Hey, Shannon. I'm doing all right. Hope you are well. So, there's always this outrage, whenever you change something, but I think it's for the better because I think it opens the door to a new generation of Magic player. So we're going to be taking a look at that. Uh, Y'all know my boy is Godzilla. Okay. And we've talked about, they sent me a new box of Godzilla, the card game. These are the boosters. I've already had the thing, so we're going to add to our collection, which ought to be fun. And I'm really looking forward to doing a video on cracking that bad boy open. The thing is, if you love Godzilla the way I do, I've got a million things. As a matter of fact, I got a big statue on my table here, which I got to clean this table up a little bit. But the thing about it is I would have collected it regardless because I'm a Godzilla fan. But the best thing about this game's good, and I can't wait to show you why this is such a great game. So you're going to be seeing videos on that. We got a couple of decks from our fantastic sponsor of Gundam card games. These were the two I was missing, Heroic Beginnings and Wings of Advanced. So tomorrow, actually, you're going to see a video explaining the game, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a playthrough so everybody gets the rules down. On top of that, we are going to be taking a look at, Star Wars Unlimited. Now, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I heard this was a very, very good game, so we're going to be taking a look at that as well. As well as we'll be cracking open some Pokemon stuff with my grandson, and that'll be fun, because he loves to tell me about all the cards, so I think I'm going to have him in a video, if he behaves himself. He has not been on his best behavior lately. So we will do that. So a lot of stuff going on always. Earthborn Rangers I'm going to be taking a look at. So to get to the title there, I have to reshoot almost 100 hours of Warhammer Quest videos, and I've been putting it on, and the reason I'm doing it is I started going over it and started setting it, and plus I just got through doing the Hero Quest stuff, which not a lot of people watched it. A lot of people don't watch the channel anyways, but I thought, well, if I'm going to do playthroughs, do stuff that people like, and people come and watch it. Well, they didn't do that well, so I'm wondering, okay, is that a kind of a waste of a time for me to do that stuff? And I didn't think I did a bad job with the Hero Quest stuff. Matter of fact, I'm looking to see where I put it all, because I planned on doing some more of it. But I have a ton of content that I did before we cleaned everything out here, and got the right angles and the right lighting, even though the lighting isn't right now, and I'm going to reshoot it at some point, maybe in September. I was actually thinking of waiting until, because I had painted up a whole bunch of Chaos. I know Little Monk's coming out with the next module, which is Chaos, and I'm thinking of doing that. So maybe going that route. I started watching it, and it would be a waste of a Friday. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to fill in Fridays until I can film enough of the Warhammer Quest stuff for the playthrough Fridays. We're going to keep on doing the playthrough Fridays. We'll see how they do. If they don't do well, which they haven't been, I'll just scrap it. And it's the same thing with the Primal Awakening. They've been so nice. I'm going to make sure that I do a ton of. I've actually done almost 4 videos right now. You've seen one already. There's another one coming up this Tuesday. So I've added another day of filming. So, so we would be up to 4 days. I've actually had some time to do some of the VR stuff I've been doing. So I'm adding the trading card market stuff. So I'm going to try to find some balance and fit some stuff in. And figure out what works for us the best. But right now, I'm going to scrap over. I've already scrapped it, deleted it. Over 100 hours of this Warhammer quest that I went on, which was a lot of fun, but it just looks horrible, and that's not the impression I want to give going forward. as I start doing things. I have been working on some things for a great friend of mine. He's finishing up Lost Secrets. Hold on. He just, this poor guy, I feel horrible about. Secrets of the Lost Tomb. We all know it. It's an all-time classic. I have been working on 10 scenarios for his next Kickstarter, which I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. And that is Secrets of the Lost Dungeon. I've come up with something, so I'm trying to work it into the framework of his rule set, and really come up with. I've come up with this story. I've had it in my head for a while. It's just I can never come up with the rules for it, so I'm going to give him the rights to it, and just take it and run with it. And but he doesn't want to start soliciting that, and we'll talk more about it as it comes closer. He's almost done. He's having everything proofread, and then it's going out to be manufactured, which, you know, during these difficult times, Chris always comes through. So Secret of the Lost Dungeon is something that's going to be pretty personal, because not only am I in Secrets of the Lost Tomb, but I'm going to be in Secrets of the Lost Dungeon, as well as I'm handing him 10 scenarios, as well as he will have a bunch of stuff as well. So we're excited about that. And I while I was scrapping this whole thing, I came up with something that I wanted to try to do with Warhammer Quest, because I had come across some miniatures, and I said, oh, this would be interesting. And I've got a few ideas with that. We'll see. There, I have videos. I have enough videos to get me all the way to September 20 something, and I've got to squeeze in a bunch, which is going to push some videos out all the way to October. So I'm doing pretty good. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And I know I've got some stuff coming, because the people over at Oathsworn are sending me over something, so I've got to do some stuff for them. I've got Space Empires, the latest expansion coming for that, which I'm really excited for, which I will be sharing with you guys. So there's a lot of not live play, but playthrough stuff that I'm going to be really plugging in. And I think it works really, really well with what we're trying to attempt to do. And unfortunately, not losing, but that 100 hours, I could have stretched out. I could have stretched out for 3 months, and it would have been great. It was a little less than 100 hours, but it was a ton of footage and filming it, and because I actually took these guys to level 5, which was a lot of fun. But one thing I've learned, and I think I've got to shorten and condense things, is if you go too long, if you do something with 10 episodes, people just don't watch it. They'll watch the first couple, and they go, okay, and then the viewership dwindles. So all your work is kind of, shot to piss, to be honest with you. So, number one, I wanted to reshoot it because I didn't like the way it looked. Number two, now that I've cleaned this off and I have it where it's perfect, and I've got the extra camera and I can shoot things a little differently, I'm really kind of happy with things, and how I'm going to be doing things. So yeah, it's a pain in the neck to reshoot, but that's fine because I've got all these card games I want to show you that are actually really, really good. And I have another card game coming in that I'm going to be talking about. They were nice enough to send me the starter deck, but I wanted to bring more in because I want to really show the solo aspect of a collectible card game. And I was like, wow, this is really fun. So we're going to be taking a look at that. And there's just a lot of things that I want to vary and show you, especially with the way things are. And it brought up a few things that have been in my head for a while. And I wrote this guy for sorcery. I have a hard time saying that word. I apologize. Contested Realms, and they made this big deal because this really famous artist did it, and it looks great. I mean, it does. The art's fantastic. But they made this video where these guys just sat around this guy, and he's opening up his own artwork, and he's just oh wow, and I'm like, okay, that's a little egotistical. That's like me, just standing in the same place. How you doing, Daniel? After I hit a 400-foot home run, and going, that sure is pretty. Boy, I'm good, And it made me think about AI art and versus a real artist. And I've been talking to a bunch of companies and designers and stuff like that have been going through hell with all the tariffs and things that they're worried about affecting their building of a game. And the thing is it really comes down to a bunch of things. You'll see a video. I really rant on things because I was watching something with my grandson, and I'll talk about it in that video too. So you'll see that this Friday instead of a playthrough. So it's my argument of the pros and cons of AI in board gaming. And there are a lot of pros to it. There's a lot of cons to it too. So you decide, pretty much. I just had the Arkham Asylum deck building game Kickstarter arrive yesterday. What's that? I don't know anything about that, John. I wonder if Richard gets a piece of that. It was written by a company, and they were supposed to send a copy of a game called Pergola, but that was 2 weeks ago, so I think they probably just didn't send it. That's fine. That happens a lot. You'd be surprised how many people go, yeah, we'll send you out a copy, or we'll be in touch, and this, that, and the other, and then nothing ever happens. They wouldn't do that to Tom. But, us lesser guys, listen, I don't take that, and I'm not trying to make a living off this. So, I always find that, if you're making a living, man, you're making sure that you are cutting costs every single way you can, and you are putting out content that has to make money. It becomes overwhelming. I just couldn't imagine doing this for a living. As a side hustle, yeah, it's I'm doing, but I'm not even doing, to be honest with you. But do I enjoy this? Oh God, yeah. It's by Cryptozoic. Oh, I know them. It's in the DC deck building line. Oh, that sounds interesting. Bought Pergola here about 2 weeks ago. Very cozy game. I'm liking it. You know, I really, Daniel, I'll be honest with you, I like that kind of stuff. I really, really do. Um, Games like Everdell is like one of my favorites all time. Just because it's just so it's so peaceful. Um, Emberleaf, another classic from from my friend Frank, and just glorious. I find myself leaning. Not everything has to be. All right, let's grab our sword and go take out 20 dragons or stuff like that, or laser down a bunch of aliens. Um, I do like. I find that I kind of enjoy some of those nice games where you're really not, you know, you could just relax a little bit, you know. And I'm with you there. Yeah, so we'll see if they send it. If they send it, great. If not, hey, that's okay too. I don't hold anything against anybody. Uh, Trainers Pokemon break into battle. This looks interesting. Expand your collection with this booster bundle containing 6 booster packs from Pokemon the trading card game Scarlet and Violet Journey Together. Oh, okay. My grandson's going to lose his mind over that. He is going to lose his freaking mind. That's my boy. Includes 6 booster packs. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a big card. But I think I got to vary things a little bit. Um, Not only do I can put off and wait a little bit with the Warhammer Quest, because I am looking forward to that Chaos expansion that he's doing, and I painted up a bunch of stuff for it, and I think it'd be nice and fresh to do on the new table. But we've got some League of Dungeoneers and Dungeon Universalis that we have to tackle as well before the end of the year. Elder Scrolls from my good friends over at Chip Theory Games. I want to do a Cloudspire thing. I love Cloudspire, and I have not gotten that out to the table. I hate saying that word. Oh, to the table. I haven't played it in a while. So I want to do that. I'm just looking around here. There's so many different things I want to do, and even though we had that disaster, which was horrifying, um, I have a good amount here. It flips the basic DC deck building game on its head as you play as the villains rather than the heroes. Ooh, interesting. I didn't care for the DC deck building game, John. I thought, maybe it's the theme. I'm not a big DC guy. Matter of fact, comic books have been lousy lately. Oh my God, I've cut down my collection to ridiculous amounts. Oh, if you look high enough, there's all the Hero Quest stuff. Okay. And in doing so, I just haven't read anything good. It's more independent stuff than it is the mainstream stuff. They have this woke agenda, which I don't care too much about. It doesn't bother me. I'm not, oh my God. It's just, something, when I have a hero that is my guy, okay, why do we have to change him? Okay? If you invented a new hero that was going through all these different things and more modernized and stuff like that, I'd read it, okay, because I'm interested. Okay, because it's telling a story, because people don't tell stories anymore. Well, you know what else I saw? I saw Peter David died, which I'm kind of shocked at. I opened up a comic book I was reading on my throne, and I opened up the center page, and there's this whole thing that says Peter David. 2025. I think I don't know when he died. Maybe a couple months ago. I mean, especially if it's in a comic book and I didn't hear about it. His Hulk run was like ridiculous. He was on that book for 12 years, which was ridiculous. That was a great run. One of my favorite runs of Hulk. That's when writers were writers. I mean, writers wrote great stories. Now it's all, let's see if we can write something to put in a movie. Let's make it as stupid as and unreal as possible. What was the biggest problem with DC in the 60s compared to Marvel? Personal issues. Personal issues were a major factor in the rise of Marvel. Okay? You had a family of four, the Fantastic Four, and they all didn't get along. Okay? They all had their own personal issues and their insecurities and things like that. And that's what made it interesting. Personal issues make money. Jeff Jarrett said that. Not Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett, excuse me, his father. He was a booker in the Memphis area, and he had a big thing on his wall that said, personal issues make money. And it's very true. Where DC was cartoony and, nothing made sense, nothing felt real, nothing felt... You wanted to feel real situations, And we're kind of going back to that where we kind of just do stupid... they're writing stupid stuff that doesn't even make sense, Spider-Man's a mess. Spider-Man is a complete, utter mess. Okay? And none of it makes sense. And it may be the stupidest book. I stopped collecting Spider-Man, and I used to read Spider-Man in the old days. And then it got out of control when he married Mary Jane, and she got pregnant, and somebody stole the kid, and I'm sick of the Green Goblin and Harry Osborn, and I'm sick of... I mean, there used to be where he would fight somebody different every single time, and that's what made it so special. Hammerhead, Kingpin, he'd have a 4-issue arc with, he'd be sick and have a cold and have to try to fight and deal with all these things and come home and deal with his personal life, where nothing can go right, and then when something did go right, you felt good for a little bit, but no, it just fall. The Lizard, all those great characters, you don't see them no more. You see all these there's 72 Spider-Men now. 72. Okay? Gwen is somehow from another dimension. No. You get to a point where you just go, yeah, I'm done. Okay? And then we make people things for shock value, okay? Or change things for shock value instead of just writing good, well-balanced. Why do they reset the universes as much as they do? Because they them up all the time. Yeah, I like both Marvel and DC. I think I like Marvel characters better than most of the DC characters. But I like the dark setting of Gotham City. I do too, John. I mean, I still read Batman. I think Batman's very good. I like Tom King's run on Batman, which I thought was fantastic. I thought I like a lot of, I'm so sick and tired of them making Apocalypse look like a jerk. Like just this pushover. And Superman's so overpowered. That's one of the reasons Apocalypse should be a villain kind of like Galactus. And trust me, they screwed up Galactus. The only person that ever really got Galactus right was Jack Kirby and John Byrne. That's it. Let me think. Has anybody else done it right? I gotta sit up for a minute. My hip has been killing me. I did something playing racquetball. Well, happens. But when you put something into the context of a force of nature, it cannot be defeated or that dumb book with Galactus where Hercules and him are sipping on cocktails. I mean, it's just preposterous and stupid. I just always felt that if you divert a force of nature, you've won. And that's how they used to beat Galactus a lot of times. Now, force of nature versus force of nature. I think it was done very well, and he was done very well in Silver Surfer. I think it's the third incarnation of it. That incredible run of Silver Surfer that led into a bunch of things. Hey Rob, is Elden Ring Realm of the Graph King worth getting? I really can't tell you. I really can't tell you because I haven't spent enough time with it. And that's honest. I don't want to lead you in a direction. I'm starting to think that it is. As I've been kind of prepping to kind of lead to maybe doing something with that. The one thing that this disaster has done is pretty much made me focus on more stuff that I have here. Oh, Richard, he sent me a copy of Magic Ring. A Magic Realm. I want to thank him so much. I haven't had a chance. This has been a week from hell for me. I got it on Monday, and Richard Galani, if he sees this, I hope he sees this. I've got to send him an email later today, thanking him. He sent me a copy of Magic Realm to replace mine, which I'm very thankful for, and I can't thank you enough. People have been so kind offering to send that, and I said you don't have to. And he said listen, I'm going to Historicon, I don't use it, I played the Dragons Down, which I also have. He goes, I'm going to send it to you regardless, and he did. People have offered up sending games, which I really appreciate, and if you have stuff you don't want, that's fine. We can do something with it, or maybe we could showcase it here if you want to see it showcased, and then maybe you regret it, I'll send it back to you. I don't know. But I'm just very thankful for a very good community, and that has been a blessing a million times over. But getting back to what I was saying, oh God, I've tried painting lately, and I just threw some base. My grandkids did these, and you'll see these in a video tomorrow. We're not done with them yet. They're Gundams. They go with the Gundam game, card game, and my hand from painting, oh my God. It just, because I can't grip, I have such a hard time. So small number of things that are really, really fun to do, or fun to do, because I feel like, oh my God, I'm painting again. But I just have to take it a lot slower. I can't paint 50 miniatures in 3 days like I used to. And those days are gone. But I will tell you this much, we've got a lot of fun things ahead. I think you're going to love the Gundam game. I think the Gundam game is ridiculously good, as well as the Godzilla game, and it's really opened my eyes to trading card games. And make sure that you go take a look at our sponsor. Put it up in the upper hand corner here. There we go. Our sponsor, Trading Card Market. My buddy Steve from the old owner of Miniature Market has a tremendous website. Go check it out. TradingCardMarket.com. I did the buffer for that, so you'll get to see the first one tomorrow, which is kind of fun. And as I fill these games in, and me and my grandson film stuff, you'll be seeing more and more stuff of this as we go. And just a lot of fun working with Steve again. Of course, we're still with the Miniature Market while they're still, plugging along. I love Miniature Market. It is personal because it is Steve's baby originally, and I've been with them for going on 11 years now. So well, no, it's actually 10 years this year, which for me is really 10 years Gen Con. Yep. This month, August, and for me, what a great relationship. What a great relationship it's been for 10 years. And I love doing videos for Miniature Market. I love doing things for Trading Card Market like that, and I really like it. I painted about 600 points of World War II British Commandos in about a week. They came out really good, mainly Wargaming Atlantic, but some Warlord games metal figures as well. Oh, that's cool, John. That's cool. I mean, I paint down there. I have a war crate for Company of Heroes. I painted all the figures for it and the buildings. Really, really, really good. Really good. A lot of fun. Really looking forward to what I'm doing with that. What time is it? Oh, not too bad today. So a few changes in the schedule, and those of you that have been waiting for Warhammer Quest, let me reshoot it. I'm trying to decide what to reshoot, and like I said, if Little Monk comes out with that Chaos thing, I'll shoot that before I do anything else. It's just the way the table was, the way the lighting was. If you notice, I've been trying to be a little bit more thorough with stuff. And if you're going to make videos, you want people to see them. You care less about subscriber counts as much as you just want people to watch things. So I've got some things I've got to figure out here, but they're fun things. They're fun things to do, to redo and have fun with, and stuff like that. So we'll get to them. We've got Primal Awakening. We've got a lot of great stuff that you're going to see. Oh, and I wrote my good friends over at who did oh god, where is it they did Dante's Inferno, which is a follow-up to Chronicles of Drungor. And I said, hey, if you can you help a brother out, and because Chronicles of Drungor is really, really special to me, and I should do something with that too. And it's up there. And I wrote Ricardo. I said, Ricardo, is there any way you can get me a review copy? I'd really appreciate it. I tell you up front, listen, I don't hide anything from you guys. And he said, yeah, once we fill everybody, and if we have anything left over, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. He goes, once you see it start fulfilling, just remind me and I'll take care of you. I go, okay. He goes, if we can. I go, I appreciate it. That's all I ask. So, hopefully we'll be taking a look at that. But Chronicles of Drungor is very, very special to me in the fact that when I was deathly sick and could not sleep, if you guys remember, I think I streamed it late at night. I would sit there and paint all night because I was in so much pain. I was so sick. I was down to 130 pounds. You know, me, a big 250-pound guy, you know, down to 130 pounds. I mean, I look like Skeletor. But I said, if I'm going to go out, I'm just going to... Anything to not lay there all night. I would come out into the studio at the old house and paint. And I painted that entire game. And it was one of the... It saved my life. I think it really did. It kept me sane while I was trying to beat this horrible disease that I had. That game, and there was another one that I painted during that time. I was just sitting there painting all night, every night, whatever I could to just try to keep my head. Sanctum. Yes, I think that was one. Nemesis was another. Ooh, I'm trying to think. But that one I remember very, very well. Because, Hate. That's right, I painted that entire game Hate during that time. Which got melted. Which was heartbreaking. Oh, I'm so mad over that. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I lost so much CMON stuff. And now that Pete's not there, and they're falling apart, all that CMON stuff gone. That hurts. My Massive Darknesses are gone. I had painted versions of that. Wow. I don't even want to think about it. All right. I have a birthday party to get ready. You haven't eaten. Gabby. You didn't eat, did you? She will not eat unless I go in the room with her. So if I'm out here, she will lay here like she is. Here. Oh, yeah. Hold on, I'll show you. That's what we do. See, she's got a little bed there. Hey, you gotta go eat. Okay. Can't tell her any different. Love that dog. Love that dog. John says, late wars, so they are in Denzin's smocks. So they look like British airborne. Same camo on the smock, but green berets. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, my dear friends. Another Sunday down. Another Sunday down. So, some changes. We will do Warhammer Quest. I just got to reshoot it. And the way Hero Quest went, it made me rethink how I do these live plays. I think I've got to make them shorter and more digestible. I had that go a half hour, and the whole thing turned out to be an hour and a half, 3 episodes, and it started out okay, and then nobody watched it. So I've got to rethink things a little bit and get it right. You guys have a great weekend. Shannon just said, okay, Rob, take care. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I will. All of you have a great Sunday. And we've got plenty of videos during the week for you to see. I think you will like everything. And lots of fun stuff ahead for you. And as always, it's your old pal Rob. Until next time, we'll see you soon, everybody. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints. Discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.